When it comes to superiority, on-road and off, the 2022 Ram TRX is definitely a dominator in its class. And here's the thing, for those who may not know, the Ram TRX, or T-Rex as some affectionately call it, is not just a Ram 1500 with the Hellcat motor dropped under the hood. It's specifically engineered for what it is and what it's capable of doing. I borrowed this particular model from my friends at Greg Orr Pre-Owned in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want to know more about this truck and maybe even buy it, check out the link down in the description of the video and tell them that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you. So let's face the facts. This is really, in essence, more muscle car than it is truck, or maybe we should call it a muscle truck. Tell me down in the comments what you think. The aggressive overall appearance is far more than just the appearance. In fact, one of the interesting things that you'll find here, if you're familiar with the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, you'll notice that the bow tie emblem on the front grille is hollowed out, if I can get that out of my mouth. It's called a flow tie. Well, essentially, you have the same thing here with the Ram logo. It's hollowed out so that more air can get in through this area of the truck to that 6.2-liter supercharged V8. So let's talk about what exactly it is that we have here with the front end and the overall design. The aggressive appearance is accented by the LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. You've got the blacked out interior of the headlights and air curtains within the truck. And that really helps, well, with aerodynamics. The gas mileage is better than it probably would be. Massive tow hooks. And here's the thing that really makes this truck impressive. Well, maybe I shouldn't say the thing. It's one of multiple things that make this truck impressive. But unlike some other off-road capable trucks, as this obviously is, you will find underbody protection, and the way that it's set up, a shingled design that actually helps to keep from scooping up all kinds of dirt and rocks and debris and everything. It really gets it out of the way and keeps it from hitting the areas that it doesn't need to hit. And here's the thing. That's plenty strong and plenty capable of keeping everything safe under there. You also have a forward-facing camera right here, or I should say right here, under the Ram logo. Multiple camera views all around the truck. You won't have any trouble seeing what's going on around you no matter where you go. And the thing about it, you have 11.8 inches of ground clearance and 13 inches of wheel travel. And if you're wondering about tire and wheel size, 35-inch tires, big meaty tires, very capable of gripping any surface, whether it's sand, snow, mud, dirt, or even on road, because this thing will get up and run, that's for sure. Surrounding the 18-inch wheel. And why is it capable of getting up and running for sure? Well, it's because of what's under the hood, and all you have to do is look at the hood to really know that it's the 6.2-liter supercharged V8. Essentially the same motor that is in the Hellcat with a few tweaks. Before we talk about that, let's talk about how this hood services the engine itself. You're going to notice a functional hood scoop right here that allows air in to feed that supercharger, and then heat extractors on each side. So a lot going on. Everything here is functional. And something I really like here, you might think this is just to make it look more aggressive or just appearance-based, but it's actually required by the DOT in the United States. It's these lights right here, because the truck is wider than a conventional Ram 1500. I do like how Ram has tastefully done this. It almost makes it look like these are the nostrils of a T-Rex. Now, when you open the hood, the first thing you're going to notice is this giant plastic cover right here. The thing I like about it is how easily you can just remove that and it's out of the way. I'll put that over here and let's talk about what's under the hood here. First Easter egg, I really like this. Ram poking fun at Ford. For those of you who know, I apologize. There's still some people out there who don't, but you have the image of the TRX, or the T-Rex, that is basically taking down the Raptor. That's not the only place where that is found. And here is that supercharged 6.2 liter V8. Let's talk numbers and specific details here. In the Hellcat, it's making 707 horsepower, but here it has some tweaks. 702 horsepower, 650 pounds-feet of torque, an 8-speed automatic transmission. And the weight of this truck is 6,866 pounds. That's really important because I'm going to share some numbers with you in just a second that will make you say, wow, that's pretty impressive for a nearly 7,000 pound vehicle. You have the RAM airflow under hood right there in the rear area of the hood behind the supercharger. 0 to 60 is supposed to be 3.7 seconds if you use launch control. Quarter mile numbers come in at 12:30 or 12.30 seconds at 110 miles per hour with a top speed of a governed 118 miles per hour. And for those who might say, well, what about MPGs? Come on. It's a 702 horsepower truck that weighs almost 7,000 pounds. But if you really want to know if you're well behaved, which I probably wouldn't be if I owned one of these, you're looking at 14 miles per gallon city and 10 out on the highway. And whether you're on the drag strip trying to run that 1230 at 110 miles per hour, or you're out showing off in the mud and running away from all of the other trucks out there, the Chevrolet ZR2s and the Ford Raptors and so forth, this truck, everything has been reinforced to make it more capable off-road to basically handle anything you throw at it. Let's talk about those exact details. Everything has been reinforced. They're always reading the terrain on the rear and basically adjusting accordingly. And believe it or not, this does make an excellent daily driver in every form and fashion. What exactly does it sound like? Here is an exhaust clip. Since so many of you like to know, the answer is yes. There are turn signal indicators built into the side view mirror. You also have a remote start on the remote itself. That's a very sturdy and strong looking remote, TRX logo on the rear. Everything that you could want is there. You don't have to worry about paying extra and using your cell phone to use remote start here on this truck. And it's funny that I would say truck. Let's talk about what you'll find here in the rear besides those monstrous exhaust pipes that give that excellent exhaust note. You'll also find additional tow hooks here on the rear, and you'll notice a hitch receiver right here. Exactly how much can this truck tow? Depending on how it's equipped, 8,100 pounds, or when properly equipped, as much as 12,750 pounds. And as I open this nice dampened tailgate, let's talk about payload numbers. Those come in at 1,361. You're gonna have your bed liner here, multiple tie-down points, and when you're working at night or early in the morning, whatever the case is, you've got the well-placed LED bed lighting that shines from the rear towards the front of the bed, keeping everything nice and bright back here. And I'll tell you what, if you wanted to get a workout with this tailgate, you would have to do a lot of reps before it made any difference. I mean, that thing is so light, it's absolutely crazy. And while this is definitely more muscle car than truck, it's still a truck. Plenty of space here in the back seat. You can fold the seat cushions up for additional storage and access to the tools to change. If you need a spare tire change, you got that. All that's right there. Both sides lift up of the 60-40 split, but there is so much room back here. Let me hop up here and show you how much room there is. And even though this passenger side seat is pretty far back, I have more leg room than I could ever need. It's perfect. Seating for 3 back here for a total of 5 passengers here. You've got the dual cup holders not only here on the rear of the center console, but also in the fold-down armrest, air conditioning vents, and a multitude of USB port options, and a household power outlet down there as well. And one last thing that I do like here, something that the Chevrolet Silverados and GMC Sierras, no matter what they are, still cannot boast of. A panoramic sunroof. I'll show what that looks like for you with the shade drawn and with the shade open, providing quite a nice view for rear seat passengers. What better way to start off taking a look at the front interior but by hitting the push button start and just letting you listen. Yeah, it still sounds great even when you're sitting inside the truck, obviously. And we'll change over to sport mode real quick just so we can let you hear it from in here. You can't beat that sound. So let's talk about what you'll find here as the driver and as the passenger over there. Good comfortable seating. Yeah, a little bit of bolstering, that helps. It's useful. You've got your nice modern looking and racy looking instrument cluster. And the thing I like here is the size of the shifter paddles. They're pretty big, although you do have the buttons on the rear of the steering wheel for managing the radio, for changing stations and volume. But the thing is you pretty much have an upper and a lower positioning of the shifter paddles. So that's useful. Your steering wheel mounted controls, and you have the nice large RAM infotainment screen. Still one of the absolute best looking in the industry, although the competition is starting to catch up to some degree, but still not outdated by any means. And you can go through so much here. You can even change the RPM in launch mode. And launch mode isn't hard to use. There's a picture down here that I'm showing you on the screen right now. You push that, it tells you what to do on the instrument cluster, and you basically mat the brake, mat the gas, and take off. We're going to try that later on with the Dragy and see what happens. You've got the upper and the lower glove boxes, and by the way, all four doors, plenty of space within those door bins, no problem there. You've got a conventional shifter here. If you're thinking Ram 1500s and you're thinking about those rotary dial gear selectors, not here. You've got the conventional, really appropriate shifter here, conventional style shifter, I should say, and the TRX logo right here, or plate, I should say, that has some very pertinent information on it. I like that. And one thing I like here, driving down the road, very easy to use the lid as an armrest. And you have really, well, two consoles here, kind of an upper console and then the lower console that's much larger. And that second Easter egg I talked about earlier, you can see the T-Rex chasing the Raptor. That's really cool. A lot of space in there. All your spare change can go right here. And, well, I'm not a math major, but if you are, you might be able to make use of what's here on the underside of the center console lid. This truck is a multitasker. It's not just meant for having fun on road and off with that 702 horsepower. It can be a work truck, a great daily driver, like I said, and all of your controls here up here on the upper console for managing the sunroof and other things as well. You've got your dual zone climate control. It's a really simple system to use. Great truck, 4x4, obviously great for anything you need to throw at it. But the thing I really want to throw at it is that test drive with the 0 to 60 test. Can we get in the 3-second range? Let's find out. Okay, we're going to get out on our test drive here. And, you know, it takes a little bit of getting used to, because you can feel that the truck is a little bit wider than what you would normally have with a Ram 1500. But that's to be expected. We talked about that earlier. We talked about why those lights are on the front end. And you also had the same thing. I didn't show this. I should have earlier. Also, under the rear tailgate, just above the license plate. But the biggest thing here is the sound. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's no doubt that I would definitely struggle to reach those gas mileage numbers that we talked about earlier. Now, this truck actually drives pretty well for what it is. You might expect that it has a little bit more of a rough, uncomfortable ride, but it really doesn't. It's very comfortable, at least on the road surfaces I've driven on, and I have been on some pretty rough surfaces during this drive, heading out to our filming location and all of that. Steering is good and responsive. You got your leather-wrapped steering wheel here, and the seats themselves are nice and comfortable. So overall, this is a great truck, a lot of fun to drive, but don't worry, I'm not going to keep you waiting for a really long time to get to that 0 to 60. Let's do that now. All right, here we go. 0 to 60 time. Okay, that was a little more than 60, but that's okay. So I'm gonna let you see, I don't know yet because I'm not gonna look, but I'll let you see what it did on the screen. It wasn't the best. I only want to do this one time because I don't want to take any chances on hurting anything. I don't think we got in the threes. We're probably in about the mid 4-second range, but one way or another, I must say, with the noise and the overall experience, so much fun to drive. One more drop to the floor. In fact, let's just slow down a little bit here. Give you a good sound clip. Woo, that is fun. Okay, I've done all the talking I really need to do. It's your turn. Tell me down in the comments what you think. Is the 2022 Ram TRX more of a muscle car than a muscle truck, or maybe a combination of both? Tell me what your answer is, and tell me why you answered the way you did. And don't forget, if you'd like to buy this truck, make sure to get in touch with my friends at Greg or Pre-Owned in Shreveport, Louisiana. The link is down in the description of the video. Got to say a special thanks to those friends over there for loaning me this TRX for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to know more about other vehicles, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.